Hey, hey, how you doing? I'm doing what you should be is sharing. I am sharing the broadcast. I hope you do the same. Okay. Whew. I was so excited to be sharing the broadcast and to have on this nice shirt. Hey, that total honest, awesome truth. Quote me. You may want you of that shirt, and if you do, let me know. Contact me. I'll hook you up. But I am so excited to be here with you. And I know some of you are like, crazy lady, you are insane. And who are you? Well, first, let me tell you, one, you're in a great place. Welcome to Leadership Live, year 2022, week 2. This month, we are diving deep into finances. And if you missed last week, go ahead. You need to catch the replay. Not now. Don't do it now because we're live now. Don't mess up now unless you're watching this on the hashtag replay. And if you are, tell us that your hashtag replay. But if you're watching it live, stay where you are. You can go back and catch up. Last week, we talked about setting up your finances for success, right? We did. This week, we're going to talk about a different subject. But you can catch up. And you had homework from last week. You got things you need to do. But regardless, we're slamming into finances this month because in 2022, instead of just getting a whole bunch of different things and you just get it on the surface for that week, we're taking a month, an entire month to dig deep into different leadership topics. And this month is finance. Leadership Live, we rocked out 2021. 2019, I did it by myself. 2021, I did it with friends. Amazing. And it's just a sharing of journeys. We share our journeys, we share our stories, we share our expertise. And boy, do I have a guru for you. I have a financial expert like she's Savon.com. But before you meet her, who is this crazy lady? I am Dr. Renita L. Webb, and I am an educational leadership strategist. And what that just means is that I love to work with aspiring and growing leaders to become more authentic in their leadership, to empower their followership, and at the end of the day, have a greater impact on the entire world. Yeah, because if you start impacting one person here, 2 people there, you will be amazed how that snowballs and how literally you are changing the world by leading others to greatness. I'm also a veteran educator. I've served grades kindergarten through college. I'm an author. Actually, 3 times. Hello, somebody. I am the author of Stepmom Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs, editions 1 and 2. Also, While You're Sleeping, The Perfect Children of All Ages book. And that book, Stepmom, honey, it is real. It came from my very real life. I am a wife and mother of 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. I own 2 and I birthed 2. And that journey, that blending, honey, it led to a book. If you are part of a blended family, raise your hand to say, I know it's a book. I know it's a book. I know you do. Because a blended family journey, like every journey when you're bringing any families together, but it's totally different when you have children involved and all the entities that end up coming with that. So it's a great book. I hope you will grab yours and read it. Also, I am the founder of The Refining Life, a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide you with experiences to have your mindset shifted so that you can lead a more positive and productive life. Oh my goodness. And 2022 for The Refining Life, amazing. So many great things coming down the pike. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and that you go to our website, www.therefininglife.com. I'm also a coach. One of my favorite things to do with leadership is to do one-on-one coaching. Oh my goodness. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And if you haven't checked out my Instagram, go check it out. The post that I did right at the end of 2021 starts to show you some of the things that my clients did in 2021. And my goodness gracious, they blew the roof off the mother. Blew the roof off the. Hey, that's what they did. They blew it up. They were amazing, and I'm excited about all the things they already have in the works here in 2022 and all the things that they will be doing. And maybe you could be one of those leaders that I get to work with the rest of this year. I'm also a queen and a queen. I'm a queen because I am, but I'm also like a real queen. I actually last weekend just gave up a crown. Well, actually this past weekend just gave up a crown, but I am still the current reigning Mrs. Black North Carolina until March 6th. Some other beauty is going to have the opportunity to become Ms. or Miss Black North Carolina. My title will not be restored this year, but I get to help with that. So I'm so excited to be able to embrace some new queens. It's amazing. They're fabulous. I'm excited. It's gonna be amazing. But this week we are getting down and dirty with the finances. So I'm getting ready to bring in an absolutely beautiful woman. She's kind of amazing. She's kind of a big deal. And her name is Yolanda Mukombe. It's Yolanda. It's Yolanda. It's Yolanda. I think every week I'm gonna try to give you something new.
This is my favorite part of the week because I get to party.
And that's what you tell we are in a different phase of life when this is the party.
Mhm.
But it's great. Yolanda, thank you so much for coming back again to give us some more knowledge here in week 2 of Leadership Live 2022. How are you doing today?
I'm doing extremely well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to come in tonight to talk about some more finances.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm going to step out of the way. There are a few people who weren't with us last week, and they need to know who you are. So, Yolanda, go ahead and tell them about yourself.
I am Yolanda Mukombe, and I am the owner of YGM Consultant. We focus on helping mothers and families and individuals navigate financial transitions. That is from negotiating higher pay, helping to create more savings and security, establishing financial security. We focus on all of those different aspects so that you can lead a more free and productive life and be able to do the things that bring you joy in your life and not have to worry about money. I am a mother and a wife. I have a 3-year-old who is almost 4, and I have a husband here, Sayani, who is super amazing and supportive. And I'm just really excited to be here tonight. I'm also an author of Don't Forget Who God Is, a 52-week devotional, and that is available on Amazon. So definitely head over to get it. Again, I'm so excited to be here tonight.
Oh, if you don't have your coffee, know that I have mine. Ha! Hey! It's an awesome devotional. So make sure that you jump on it. So as you're going through this process with your money, you might need to remember who God is. Okay. This can be strenuous. It can take a lot out of you, but it's so worth it. So Yolanda, our topic for this week, what is our topic for this week?
So this week we are going to talk about steps to creating a savings plan. And we are going to deep dive in and go through some really awesome steps to create a savings plan so that you can go ahead and have some security before the month of January ends.
Wow. Okay, so let's take a moment here. I feel like this is going to be tender. This is going to be tender for some people because we're getting ready to tell you can't spend it. Whoa. So let's come together. Everybody join hands. All right. So right now, we're going to be okay. All right. We're going to be all right. This process is going to be one that is going to forever change our lives. Oh, don't let go of my hand. Quit trying to let go of my hand. All right. We're going to not spend it all. Stop. We're not going to spend it all. We're going to listen to the steps and we're going to take the steps and we're going to enjoy this process. We got it? All right? All right. Let your hands go. All right. Okay, Yolanda. Take us through steps. Steps.
So, first of all, we're going to breathe and we are going to do a collective breath.
All right. All right.
And that is to get out all of the mindset that you cannot save because you can. And you don't have to start with a grand budget or a grand goal. You can start right where you are. So give yourself some grace and just recognize, if you go back to last week, we talked about being honest and realistic. Recognize where you are in the journey. Okay. So I'm going to share a little story to help you realize that it's possible. Last year I was helping a single mom of a daughter. So she's single mom and she called me and said, "Oh my God, do you know someone who can help me get my finances in order?" And I was like, "Me, of course." And so the first conversation we had was, I I can't meet my monthly obligations. It's too much. I had to get a car payment because I made a mistake some years ago by co-signing for somebody, which we're not going to do. And that person's car got repossessed. And so I needed a new car, and I have a $600 car payment. And it's wrecking my budget. And I was like, cool. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get in front of this. Um, After having that conversation, we were able to get her car refinanced, save $300 a month off bat. That was within 2 weeks of having the conversation. So then, same mom she was actually requested to start a new position, which was a promotion at her job. Well, her job being where it's located, tried to pretty much not offer her anything for the promotion. And so my first question to her was, okay, if you're going to be doing more work and they ask for you, um, you going to get some more money?
That's
And she
right.
said, no, I didn't even think about asking. I said, oh, no, 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 no. You're going to ask for some more money. And after going back and forth for maybe a week or so, we negotiated her 18% raise.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm doing the math. So we just say $300 on a car payment. We got an 18% raise. All
All
right, come on,
right.
keep it going.
So at the time, she didn't have any savings because she could not save. By the time we finished, which we were going to do 3 months, I actually ended it at 2 months because she was already so far ahead. She had over $750 saved up over 2 months. And by the end of the year, she's had $1,000 saved up. And that was in 2 months. 2 months. That
Oh,
was more
wow.
money than she has ever saved in her life. This is more financially secure than she's ever been in her life. And all she did was ask for help. So
Oh, wait. Let's take a pause. Let's take a pause at the ask for help. Let's take a pause at the ask for help. Leaders, all my leaders right here. Just because you are the leader and you typically have people following you, because that's what makes you a leader, right? Doesn't mean that the leader doesn't need assistance. It doesn't mean that the leader doesn't need help. It doesn't mean that there's some things that the leader may not know. It may be some new information that you do not know or understand, or maybe you just haven't dealt with well in your own life. But when you ask for the help, honey, when you ask for that 18%, $300, not 300, because when you're dealing with money, you get a little bit more urban.
oh yeah,
$300,
100. Mhm. And over $1,000 added to her budget each month because of these two things.
and she saved.
And she saved.
And so all of that, and she saved
Yeah. Yeah.
by asking for help.
By
My,
asking for help.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had another client last year who started the year off saying she wanted to save $10,000. And I was like, cool, you can, I fully believe that you can do it. In the time, she took a job that was a little bit less pay. Her husband left his full-time job to pursue another career. And she started freaking out halfway through the year because she's like, I'm not going to meet my goal. I said, girl, you're going to be fine. You're going to meet your goal. November of last year, right before the holidays, she texted me and said, girl, I met my $10,000 goal.
Oh wait, this is why I need a keyboard right here. Two, I need to know how to play. But being that I don't, we're gonna give it what it got. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. We don't need no you that. Boom. Woo,
Mhm.
that's good. Oh, that's good.
Yes,
But I'm guessing that in both of these scenarios, it all started with steps.
it did. And the first step was making a decision and being committed. You can hope and wish and dream as long as you want to, but if you are not committed to doing what you need to do, then you're not going to be able to get it done. It's just not going to happen. And so you have to be committed to the process. Both of these women had situations that changed. They had situations that changed, and it didn't look like they could do it. But because they didn't actually give up and they stayed committed, they were able to reach their goal. Two separate situations, but equally amazing in their own right.
Absolutely.
And I share the two separate situations to tell you that you don't have to start grand. You do not have to create $1 million tomorrow. You can start with $500 over 3 months. And
We
the
don't
way
have to
that
do $1 million tomorrow.
you don't have to do $1 million tomorrow. Now, if you hit the lottery, because I told you to do this and you want to come find me and help me become a millionaire tomorrow, listen, we can do
Yes.
that. We can do that.
Yes.
But if luck is not on your side and you're not one in a million or one in the, 1 in 3 million that makes it, then here's some things that you can do. So first thing that you need to do is be specific about your goals. After
Okay.
you decide, you need to be specific about the goal. You can't tell yourself, hey, I'm going to save more money this year, because that's not going to work, because that is too abstract. You have to put a number on it and you have to name it and you have to claim it. So that is saying if you want to save $500 over the next, I'd say 4 months, divide that up. That is $125 each month.
Mhm.
And that is a little bit more simple to bite than saying, I want to save $100 over the next month, because that's a little bit intimidating. The next way, and I just, I just said, the next part is measurable. You want to be able to measure it. You want to be able to say, okay, cool, I want to save $500 within 4 months. You want to give yourself a time frame, because if you can measure what you are going to do and give yourself a time frame, then that kind of puts some peer pressure on yourself to be able to stick with your plan.
Let's go
Um,
positive peer pressure.
right, positive peer pressure. And then the next thing you need to do is be realistic about what you're doing. Be realistic about your time frame, because yeah, you can save $10,000 in 6 months, but like, let's be honest, does your income make room for that? And if
Right.
it doesn't, then you're not being realistic about it. And that's okay. But when I first started saving, when I started my first job some years ago, what I did was I opened up an online checking account and I put, I want to say $5 in there. I think I started with $2. It was something very, very insignificant at the time. But in my heart, I said, I can put away $2 per paycheck. Like, I know I can do this. And I
Right.
started doing it. And then I realized how silly it was that I was doing that. So I increased that number to $50 a paycheck, because that was what I could afford at the time.
Right.
And this was oh my gosh, 10 years ago when I did that with my first job. But what that was able to do for me was that next year, so in 2012, I started my first job. 2013 is when I really started trying to save. 2014, it put me in a position to be able to have money to purchase a new house. Now, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was able to cover those things that go into, home ownership, such as your appraisal fee and, closing costs and putting stuff in your name and having to do deposits and all that stuff. Like, I was able to, just with starting with $2, have money to buy a new house and then go into the new house with a little bit of savings. And so it's really important that you recognize where you are. You don't have to start with a grand goal of even $1,000. You can start with $500 and just make sure that when you commit to it, that you commit to it. So the way that you can commit to it is have an automatic transfer
Ooh,
every
oh,
time you get paid.
and we say, oh, pause it automatic. That means you go take
Automatic.
money out that account, like for real.
Make it a bill, just like you do with your bill. If you have
Oh,
your
I love
bills on automatic draft, make it a bill, because it that's how you make it a commitment and that's how you cement it in. But if you don't do those things, then 9 times out of 10, that time is gonna pass and you're gonna be realizing, oh my gosh, I spent money on Amazon. I spent money buying stuff from online. I spent money eating out. This money could have actually gone into my savings account. I could have reached my goal. But you now have the skills to be able to say, cool, I can save up the money without having to put, a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself by saying, I'm going to save up this absorbent amount of money when it doesn't call for that. So you have to be specific,
Uh-huh.
measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. And those are what I call SMART goals. And you can apply SMART goals to anything. you
Let me
you
tell
can
you,
really,
I did the math.
yeah.
If you save $41.67 per month, not per week, if you get paid every other week, not that. $41.67. Actually, you will end up with more than $500 in your savings because it's really 41.6666667. But they don't make change like that. So if you just round up and you do
Or
the 41.67, or you just do $42. If you do $42 per month, let me do some more math, because God bless calculators, because then I can sound real smart. If you
yep.
do $42 per month without any type of interest that you would get on the money based on your account, you will have saved $504 by the end of the year. So if you started this month, this week, like maybe you got your funds and you got $42, you take that $42, you put it into your savings, and do not touch it.
Don't touch it. Don't
Every time
touch
you
it.
think you're about to go touch it, pop your own hand. Don't touch it. But you will have $504 saved at the end of the year for whatever. Let's say
Whatever.
you give yourself a budget at the end of the year for Christmas and say, we're going to spend $500 this year. Well, you will have saved it throughout the year, and it won't be no more sweat off your back, nothing. It will be there.
Mhm. And I'll tell you that if you create an account that you are not used to having, not used to touching, don't have a debit card to, and that could be through your financial institution, or you can find an online banking account. Y'all, let me tell you, it really, like, out of sight, out of mind really works. I
Yes.
remember I I was reminiscing because I'm reading Year of Yes, and one of the things that Shonda Rhimes talked about in her book was that she worked at Baskin Robbins as her first job. And I was like, oh my gosh, me too. We have something in
Come on,
common.
make contact with Shonda. Hey,
Right.
Shonda, if you're out
Hey,
there,
Shonda
reach the live.
Rhimes.
You can help me produce it. Thank you, Shonda.
Boom.
Okay.
But and this was when I was 16 years old, right? And so I'm working scooping my ice cream, and I just kept putting my money in the bank because I didn't have anything else to do with it, because my needs were taken care of. And I remember one day going into the bank to figure out how much money I had saved, and it was over $1,000 that I had saved over, 2.5 months that I worked there. So that out of sight, out of mind really does work if you're willing to just be committed to it, and just add it at, like, make it so that it's automatic. So, like, it comes out of your account and there's nothing you can do about it. You There's nothing
It's
you can
done.
do about it. You can't be like, okay, let me not move the money over, because we will find a reason to spend money.
Hello, we will find a way.
We will find a way. So if you're gonna find a way to make sure that it gets out of your account and where it needs to be, which is, in a different savings account. And it's so important to have savings because you want to make sure that you have some security. If COVID has taught us nothing else, is that we have to make sure that we put ourselves in a position to be able to be financially secure. And it, again, doesn't have to be on a grand scale starting out, but at least having money put aside to cover expenses. You got, medical copays that you might have to pay. You have, if you have a flat tire, if you have a battery go dead in your car, like, some of anything can happen that can throw your financial situation off. And having that nest egg to the side can really help you preserve your financial security.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I hope you did your homework from last week. I hope you did your homework from last week, because you got new homework. You
Mm-hmm.
got new homework. One, we're going to, everybody put your hand up. Say I.
I.
State your name. Actually, say your own name. Don't say state your
Mhm.
name. Let's
Yeah.
start over again. I state your name. Promise to save some amount of money in 2022. Just some amount. I'm not asking for thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't care if it's $100. If you never save $100 for your life, let's save $100. If you never save $50 in your life, save $50, but save something. And I will not touch it until 2023.
Mm-hmm.
At least part of it. Like something major may happen in your life, but have something left in that savings in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all right. So you have made a promise now. You've promised yourself. This is not about promising me. It's not about promising Yolanda. It's about promising yourself that you're going to save. Put yourself in positive financial positions. I mean, it gives you freedom and a great feeling like none other. It's nothing
Yes.
like, when you're financially strapped, you feel a certain way. But when you got money, like, oh, I can just go grab that. Like, oh, I'm closing on a house. I need $500 today to pay for the appraisal. I got that. Let me just go grab that. No interest, no nothing. It was your money to use as you needed. But it comes with savings, and it comes with discipline, and it comes with making a commitment, and it comes with determining how much you want to save and in what time frame, and being realistic about your life. We talked about being realistic and honest last week. We're being realistic and honest again this week. So you've now made a pledge, and you promised yourself that you're going to be in a better financial situation, because if you're saving money, you're in a better situation than you were when you weren't.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, week 2, I told you all, we
Me
getting
too.
bite size. This is not a king size candy bar moment. This is bite size. I won't say like the little square candy bar, but like the small rectangle candy bar size chewing that we're doing each week, because I really, really desire for every leader here today, every leader who's here last week, and every leader who will come to pass in this series, that we will be able to really say we have gotten this knowledge and we have worked that thing. And in the area of finance after January, honey, we're going to be in a new way, because
Yes.
financial expert Yolanda Mukombe is getting us tied right. Tied right. Well, Yolanda, thank you again for coming this week. For those of you all who missed last week, or maybe you just never seen Yolanda before, you can go to her website, ygmconsultingllc.com, and get all kinds of information. They can get on your mailing list there, can't they?
Yes, definitely get on my mailing list, and I will get you an actual savings tracker so that you can start your year off right, so that you really don't have any excuse to not get started.
Did y'all hear? You get a gift, a savings tracker to help you do some of these things we just talked about. But also, make sure you're following Yolanda on Instagram and on Facebook. Honey, she has the goods, and she shares them with us. She shares stories, she shares videos. Just be ready. Be ready. Yolanda, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for another week of financial greatness. Taking steps to create that savings plan. You got me inspired. I feel like I'm going to pull some of money out of my account and just put it in the savings, just because why not tonight? If I got a
Why
few
not?
extra cookies, let's just put them in a place where they can be safe.
Indeed.
Indeed. Well, I love you all so much. Thank you for being with us here again for week 2, or for the first time here at week 2 of Leadership Live 2022 with Dr. Renita and friends. It's going to be a great year. Yolanda, thank you again. Love you all. And as always, I encourage you to keep your leadership all the way live. See you